Hello there, welcome to another episode of Chat and Chew. My name is JeJe Noval, and I'm a faculty member at Loma Linda University and registered dietitian nutritionist. Today, I have 4 fantastic graduate students, and I'd like you to get to know them. But before I introduce them to you, I want to let you know that our topic today is on anti-inflammation. We're going to talk about how we can combat the state of inflammation. So anti-inflammation, right? Right, you guys?
Of course.
Okay, of course. Wonderful. So to my farthest right, we have Audrey Bamford.
Hello.
Hello, Audrey.
Hello.
Where do you come from?
Originally the state of Pennsylvania.
Whoa.
So all the way on the East Coast.
Oh my. So then, why did you choose Loma Linda University if you came from elsewhere?
Well, why not? It's in California.
Oh, that's a perfect answer.
Who doesn't want the sunshine and the beaches? Yes. No, but also
I like those answers.
Exactly, exactly. But I also was very interested in nutrition and found that Loma Linda could be a great place to do my graduate school, so I flew out to California.
Wow, wow, what a blessing. Wonderful, thank you.
Yeah.
And next we have, oh, CY, I just know you by CY. I know you have a real name.
Yes, my real name is Cheng-Yi.
Yes,
yeah.
Cheng-Yi. Where do you come from?
I'm from Malaysia. Came to States like 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you go to another school before coming to Loma Linda?
Yeah, I went to Fulton College in Orange County and then transferred to Loma Linda.
Ah, yeah. I see. Very good. So why do you want to become a dietitian?
It's just I love to know how food being digested or absorbed in our body. So yeah, that's why I chose nutrition and dietetics.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Fantastic. And next to her, we do have a male in this group, which is really nice. Isaac Dinyo.
Yes.
Right, Isaac Dinyo.
On point.
Yes. Where do you hail from?
Originally, I lived most of my life in Corona.
Oh, okay.
So I'm quite aware of the surroundings and the place locally. So yeah, I was born in the Philippines though. However, 6 months after my birth, I decided to come here. Or I did.
You decided.
I did. My mom did. But here I am.
Where in the Philippines were you born?
Pampanga, so southern region.
Okay. Have you been back?
Not since 2nd grade, so a lot's changed.
Yes, yes. Okay, very good. So my question to you is, what is your short-term goal as far as career-wise after you have RDN after your name?
Probably short-term would definitely be getting a job first, but
that's important.
Yep. That is very important.
What kind of job?
So I would like to work clinical first. Okay. That's my current short-term goal. I'd like to understand how food can help aid in recovery in patients who are ill. Yeah. Eventually, for a long-term goal, after I gain my experience and increase my knowledge bases of nutrition, dietetics, and the human health, I would like to work at a school district.
Wow. Oh, we got to talk more about that. I love hearing answers like that.
Yes.
Excellent.
So, if you'd like to know, I will share it now. So
yes, do it.
It all started when I was obese throughout my childhood.
Right.
And I really didn't like how I felt, excuse me. And I noticed all of my friends were able to do all these fun physical activities, and I was just off to the side, and I just watched, and I couldn't do anything. Oh. It hurt a lot. There was a lot of psychological damage and emotional damage. Wow. But to add to that, there was a lot of health complications as well. Wow. I can remember every time I would wake up in the morning, get off the bed, immediately I'd feel sharp knee pains. So I hated how that felt. And I remember my doctor told me, if you continue this path, your future is not going to be as healthy as you'd like it to be. So I decided to change that. I looked to nutrition and dieting, exercising. And well, it changed my life. I became more physically active. It's become a lifestyle. Yep. Fun fact, how I weigh now is actually how I weighed when I was obese.
Okay. Wow. But the difference is
just
wow. Fantastic. Healthier with more muscle mass on board.
So with that life change, it's inspired me to reach out to children
there you go.
be the help to them that I wish I had when I was suffering, and to inspire and change lives.
Yeah.
Excellent, outstanding. Thank you for sharing your story.
Of course, anytime.
Appreciate that. And last but not least, we have Sneha Lola.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Sneha, where do you come from?
I'm from Florida.
Wow, from Florida.
East Coast.
There you go. Another one. Wow. So, what are your long-term goals as far as being a dietitian?
So I'm currently very much into the gut microbiota. So I would like to possibly research that with a doctor, with a gastroenterologist, and apply the research that I'm learning to help my patients.
Wow, fantastic. That's a very hot topic. But not only is it hot, it's important to really understand and know and share information about gut health. So you're on the right path too. So you guys, your topic is on anti-inflammation, fighting the state of inflammation. So is being in a state of inflammation a negative thing?
All right, so first I would like to start off by explaining what inflammation is.
Okay.
So it's
Yes.
our body's natural immune response to when we get a disease or an infection.
Right.
And actually, I have this image right here
Ooh,
that
wow,
kind of
look at
shows
this.
the process.
Okay.
It's explained in 4 steps, and what it is first we start off in the first step, and we have some sort of like infection or like a splinter that has entered the body. Our body needs to react right away. So what happens is chemical signals are released, and these cause phagocytes as well as our capillaries to open up and enter into the area. So this allows then the phagocytes to eat up the pathogens, all the stuff we don't want in our body, and all the cell
Right.
debris that's left over there, so that our body can continue being healthy and not react poorly to something as small as a splinter.
Right.
So it's important that we keep our inflammation process under control, because if it goes on for too long, or if it happens in a place where it's not natural, then it can be problematic with our health.
Right. So you're saying that in certain cases, inflammation is okay if it's short term. And then what I hear you saying, though, but if it keeps going on, then that's not a good thing.
Yes.
Okay. So what are the other causes of inflammation?
It's actually interesting because there's so many more than we think about on a daily basis. A lot of times people recognize, you know, infections, short-term, long-term, kind of what you were talking about, Sneha. Those are some normal things that people encounter every day. But what people don't realize is just a stressful lifestyle in general can cause inflammation over time. And also high-intensity exercise is really something that can cause inflammation as well, too. So it's important to keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, so true. So well, let's see now. Why did God make our bodies to have an inflammatory response?
So like as Sneha mentioned earlier, like inflammation is part of the body's immune response. So inflammation, like the short-term inflammation is good for us. So for example, like if we didn't have like the inflammation response, like the wounds, like infections or like any damages to the tissues will not be healed.
Okay, so then why should we care? What are the long-term issues with inflammation, staying in that state for a long time?
So not only should we care about the short-term process, which is where most of our benefits come from,
True.
but with a short-term process, we must also look into the long-term process. Now, it's kind of I would say like a double-edged sword with the inflammatory mechanism. So short-term is pretty good short-term inflammation is pretty good for recovering processes.
Right.
Long-term, however, if inflammation is prolonged, it's considered chronic inflammation. And because of this, many health complications can arise, such as certain cancers, diseases, type 2 diabetes even.
Right.
More specifically, heart disease. That's also
Oh, yeah, it's a big
result of chronic inflammation. So
Yeah.
that's why it's important for us to understand both sides of inflammation in terms of short-term and long-term, because we can talk about how awesome short-term is
Right.
and leave out long-term, and people are going to assume, oh, inflammation is always going to be good, but we have to be mindful as to the full extent of what inflammation can do to our bodies.
Okay. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent explanation there. Now, you know, a lot of people use like non-steroidal type of meds or drugs to help with their state of inflammation, and not just those drugs, but yeah, many other types to bring down inflammation. So yeah, we're not the biggest supporters of taking that kind of medication, especially if we don't need it. And especially if there's a way to treat our state of inflammation through natural means. So are there some natural ways that we can combat or fight inflammation?
A good strategy is to look at what foods you're eating, what your diet is composed of. Because foods that are highly processed have a lot of trans fat and saturated fat.
Right.
So if you go to the gas station and get like a breakfast sandwich, then that may have a lot of saturated fat and trans fat that may actually be promoting that inflammation. However, with the foods we also eat that we'll later be showing you, they have anti-inflammatory properties. So.
Yes, and that's exciting. That is a good thing. So let's pretend though that, you know, there's someone out there that just really loves a breakfast sandwich. And you say that the one that you get at the gas station can cause inflammation. What is it about that particular sandwich that causes the inflammation? Or what food item is in there that causes inflammation? Like if we think about the bread that they use, like if it's
Using white bread.
Right.
White bread, yeah. A white buns.
Oftentimes you won't find a whole wheat bun at a gas station.
That's true.
I
You're
agree.
absolutely right. Exactly. So it is that white, that white bread or the white bun or
they tend to have
muffin.
like a high sodium content too. So if
No,
you
that's
want to
true.
look at the salt, it has an impact too.
yeah, in two ways. So then would you recommend if somebody still wants to have that breakfast sandwich, what's a quick tip? Or maybe not exactly quick, but what could they do so that they can still have a sandwich?
In my opinion, I believe homemade. You can still make your own breakfast sandwich and still fully see what's going into it and make modifications prior to your preference.
Right.
The problem with these gas station sandwiches is that they're made to have kind of a long shelf life. In order to do that, they have to be
Excellent
processed.
point.
Yeah.
He's so right. And yes, and they can make it at home and ahead of time. So if you take...
you could meal prep this. This
Meal
is
prep.
easy item
Don't
that
you
you
meal
could.
prep?
I do every Sunday.
Every Sunday. Yes, that's my meal prep day too.
Yeah, but this is an easy thing to meal
Yes,
prep, and then all you have to do
totally.
is stick it in the microwave, heat it up, and you have it ready in a minute and take it with you on the road.
So when we're saying meal prep, they can probably make 5 or 6 of those breakfast sandwiches ahead of time.
Definitely, for the whole week, really.
For the whole week?
Yep.
And wrap it up and store it where? Where would we store it?
In the fridge, yeah.
Or,
In the refrigerator or freezer.
freezer.
Yeah, for long term too.
Right, long term, so true. And then when you're ready to go, just pop it in
The
microwave,
microwave, yeah.
and then you're ready to go. What would you put in this breakfast sandwich? What would be a favorite item to put in there?
I mean, I love just a omelet sort type of egg, just a little bit of cheese, maybe some vegetables inside, some
go.
spinach, tomato.
Yeah.
Dress it up, make it flavorful, you know.
I think it's a great idea. You can just chop up the vegetables, mix it with the eggs.
And it's quick.
Yeah, it's quick.
Definitely.
Yes.
And you can choose a whole wheat bun.
There you go.
Oh.
And I've seen those, and some of them actually also have extra protein too.
Definitely.
Certain brands that
Yeah.
you buy
Definitely.
will say that. So, okay, I'm so excited to see what all of you will be making. So I'm going to give you the rest of the time to make your recipes, and then I'll check in with you later on.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Yes.
See you
thank
soon.
All right.
So I will be making the first recipe. I have a question for all of you guys. So what do you guys usually have for breakfast?
You know, it's funny that we were just talking about breakfast
Yeah, I
sandwiches
know.
because that's my go-to usually.
Okay. So what about you guys?
I'm a fan of yogurt and berries. I like my breakfast kind of light.
Okay. And what about you?
Same thing. I like to drink my protein shakes.
I've seen that in the class. So now I'm going to make a because I always start my breakfast with oatmeal because it is a great way to start off your day because it provides you like a long-lasting energy. So I'm going to like show you how to make like a really simple gingerbread flavor oatmeal. So first of all, we will need like a cup of oatmeal. Steel cut oats, and then we will pour into a pot, and then we will need like 2 cups of water. Here you go. This is 2 cups of water. The reason why we choose steel cut oats is because it provides like dietary fiber for us, and then it has like a good source of iron. Definitely. And then secondly, we are going to measure out like 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. And then
I love cinnamon,
especially during holidays.
Good. Yeah, it's so Christmassy.
I feel like it's one of the most versatile spices you can use.
Definitely.
We choose like cinnamon. It's because it has like an antioxidant properties. It's like having a lot of bodyguards around our cells in our body to protect them, to protect the body.
Yeah.
And then it also has like an anti-inflammatory response.
Anti-inflammatory.
As we mentioned earlier, like it fights like infection, and then it helps with our immune system. So secondly, I'm going to take like 1/4 teaspoon of ginger. And ginger treats with like nausea, and then like it improves your health risk factor. And then I'm going to take like 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. Allspice also help with like digestion, and then it improves your blood circulation too. And last but not least, I'm going to take a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, which it will help treat insomnia. If you have like difficulties sleeping at night, you can put like nutmeg into your diet. And it also helps with digestion. So you're going to cook this.
Oh man, I bet this is gonna be flavorful.
Yeah, you're going to cook
spices?
this for like simmer it for like 20 minutes, and then you will have like a good breakfast.
Definitely.
Yum. Show you. This is like
You have it made.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, wow, that's quick.
Wow, that looks so delicious.
You guys want to try?
Yeah.
Here you go.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can have it.
Oh,
yeah, you
awesome.
can try it. I
Alright,
just tried this morning.
Let's try this.
All right, we might as well.
I really
delicious.
taste the cinnamon.
Yeah.
Another one.
That was really good, CY.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
I think I might use this recipe when I go home.
Yeah, that looks so easy to make. Wow, that's awesome.
Okay.
Wow. I don't know about you guys, but I think I'm in Flavor Town.
Thanks.
All right, thanks a lot, CY, for that awesome breakfast recipe.
Thank you.
So let's just keep this party rolling, and moving on from breakfast, what's next is lunchtime. So today we are going to show you a awesome burger recipe. It is a black bean burger. So I have my friend Sneha here to help me. So first of all, we're going to go through what we need, our tools for this mission. We're going to need 1 sweet potato, a can of black beans, no salt added, rinsed and dried. I love black beans because there's a lot to know about them. First of all, they are packed with protein, so if you're looking to bulk up, build some muscle, or you're into sports, it's perfect. Second of all, this also has phytonutrients, magnesium, and selenium. Selenium is amazing. It's a mineral that actually helps with anti-inflammation. Next up, we have 1/2 cup of cooked quinoa. Next up, we have chopped cilantro, just a little bit, just to add some specks of color and flavor. We also have 1 teaspoon of cumin, followed by 2 teaspoons of Cajun spice. Next up, we have salt for taste, 2 garlic cloves. We got some oil just for a little help on the way. And last but not least, we have oat flour. Awesome. So in terms of appliances, we will be using a food processor, like so, as well as an air fryer to cook everything. Okay, so what we're going to do first is actually have our sweet potato and we're going to toss it in the microwave, or we can toss it in the oven as well. But we've done this ahead of time. Boom. Oh, and fair warning, please wear an oven mitt. You don't want to play hot potato just yet. We're gonna cook this first. Okay, now that is done, we're going to go ahead and get the beans and toss it into the food processor. Followed by the cilantro. Next up, our boy the cumin. That seasoning. And we're going to actually add the garlic cloves. I'm gonna go ahead and mince this up. Talk about the quinoa.
Oh, and while Isaac is mincing up the garlic, I wanted to talk about quinoa real quick. Did you know quinoa is a complete protein? It has all of the 9 essential amino acids that you need. So it's a great addition to any meal. It also has a lot of fiber, which it helps with anti-inflammatory properties.
Nice. It's exactly what we want.
Yeah. And then we also have sweet potato, which also has quite a bit of fiber in it. Now, I talked about earlier how I'm really interested in the gut microbiota. So it's important to feed our little creatures inside of us with good fiber and lots of probiotics. And then sweet potato also has a lot of vitamins and minerals. So it's a great addition to our little burger. So now I'm gonna cut it up real quick. And the great thing about a food processor is you don't have to be accurate with the cuts you make, and you don't have to really cut that much because the food processor does it for you.
Definitely.
It's like having a little chef in that container cutting it for you.
Does all the work for us.
And then while Sneha is doing that, I'm also going to continue with some of these ingredients. So we are going to add oat flour. It's going to help the patties kind of bind and have its shape when molded. So we're going to toss that there. Next, we are going to add just some salt, just to add a little bit of flavor, but not too much. So we're going to have a pinch of that. Awesome. Now, we're going to close this food processor. Now, for the folks at home, this is going to be really loud, so to save your eardrums for now, we actually have pre-processed this. And our mixture will look like this.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Boom! Now, it may not look much, but it's valuable. So, after the food has been done processing, you're actually going to add this quinoa. But again, I've already made this mixture ahead of time, so the quinoa is already present. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to start
Shaping the patties.
Yes.
So a great tip with shaping patties is if you put a little bit of oil on your hands, the patty won't stick to your hands, and it makes it a lot cleaner.
So she's just gonna put a little bit, kind of like lotion, but please don't use it as lotion. Just to kind of coat our hands, make sure the patties will actually come off your hands and not just turn into a little a bean mitten.
Definitely.
This already smells so delicious. I can't wait for it to cook.
They look pretty easy to shape too, don't they?
Yeah. Especially with the oil, it doesn't stick to your hand, so you can easily make that patty shape.
That looks so easy.
I've actually done this a bunch of times, failed miserably, some of them. But I've come to notice that if your dough or if your mixture is a little too liquidy, add a bit more flour just to make sure it's
Just to bulk it up a
looking
little
like
bit.
that.
Or you
So
can
now
also
a golden
add some
medallion.
like breadcrumbs.
Our patty over here.
Oh, breadcrumbs
Beautiful.
as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Now that is done, we are going to toss it into this air fryer. An air fryer is awesome because you can enjoy fried foods with up to 80% less fat, and of course still go to Flavor Town. So we are going to go ahead and toss this to the air fryer. Now, The parchment paper is designed to help coat the bottom of the grill so the burger won't stick or kind of fall through the holes. And then afterwards, again, we did this ahead of time. The finished product, after we take it out.
Wow.
Delicious.
That looks good.
Yeah.
That looks really good.
It looks brown, just like a regular patty, and you made it at home.
And when it's done, this is what it looks like.
Oh, look how delicious that looks.
Yep,
That looks
straight out of Burger
great.
Town.
Wow.
It's extremely healthy and it's also easy to make. But yes, we will go and taste this later. We're actually going on to move to Audrey's recipe.
We saved the best for last
Exactly.
because obviously we're gonna do dessert now. So, what's your favorite dessert?
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ice cream. Cookies.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about brownies?
Oh, delicious.
You like them?
I love brownies.
Oh my god, like a pizzuki?
Well, let me show you an even better and healthier brownie recipe right here. Do you guys know what the main ingredient is? This lovely green thing right here, avocados.
Wow.
So, we use avocado, unsweetened applesauce, a little bit of honey, vanilla extract, eggs, coconut flour, cocoa powder, salt, and baking soda. So pretty simple, a lot of things you normally use in a brownie recipe. And we're first going to start off by, I'm using my version of a food processor, the Ninja, which I really enjoy. So we're quickly just going to add the avocado, honey, the egg, and the applesauce together.
Sorry.
We're gonna blend that up real good. And the Ninja makes it so easy to just blend it really quickly.
Looks like a smoothie.
It basically, like a
It looks
green
like an
smoothie.
avocado
Would it be a
smoothie.
good idea
Yeah.
if I took a sip out of that?
You could try it. It'd be like sweet avocado. It might be a little
Oh, yeah, because of
weird.
the honey.
A little weird. So once we get that out of here, we are going to add in
Wow.
the
It looks
rest
like a
here.
smoothie, doesn't it?
Yes, I need all of that together.
Wow.
And then we're just basically gonna mix it all up.
That looks so good.
Make it into a brownie here.
How long are you gonna bake it for?
So in the air fryer, we'll do it on 350 for about 15 minutes. So
Wow.
quick and easy, yeah, not
Fantastic.
hard at all.
It is so worth
And
getting
then,
an air fryer.
luckily, we have the final product right
Oh
here.
my goodness.
Look how fluffy it is, like a
That's so
regular
amazing.
brownie.
I gotta
Yeah.
taste it super duper quick.
Oh, you have to.
We might as well showcase the rest of our lovely dishes.
You like it?
I love it. We just don't have any more time left, but thank you so much, everybody, for showing these
course.
great recipes. Thank you so much. Remember, you don't have to stay in a state of inflammation. In order to live well, you gotta eat well. Bye.
Bye.